What's going on YouTube? Kronos here, and welcome back to another PSO2 video. So in today's video, we're actually going to go over the Road to Episode 5 stuff that's popped up on the PSO2 website. I actually haven't seen this whatsoever, haven't read through it or anything along those lines. So this will be just sight reads. I may not get everything 100% right, just as a heads up, you guys. I don't always, or if I don't have these things planned, read through them, double checked everything, then sometimes things get a bit wrong. So just as a heads up, this is my first impressions of what we're going to be seeing, what's going to be popping up first, and kind of going forward from there. Hopefully we get some cool things that are coming. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to toss them in the comments and let's get started. So, of course, we can see from the very get-go, Road to Episode 5, ready for the major content update. Pretty sure, I haven't looked at this yet, but pretty sure this is going to be on the 30th. That is my guess. That's when the mission pass ends. That's when they've done things. They've done things basically at the end of the mission pass, historically so far. So it feels like that makes the most sense. With Episode 4 at the very least. So Episode 5, here we come. Let's jump right into it. You can see Hero. This is the female version, male version of Hero. And then you've got two one character that looks familiar, but two relatively important characters that are going to be a part of the Episode 5 story, but I'm not going to spoil that. So let's hop into it. So if you're ready for the fantastical adventure, then prepare yourselves, operatives, because Episode 5 launches on September 30th. Read this article in details to find out what's included. It's almost like SEGA does the same thing every time, and we can predict it. Okay, that was a little snarky, but I get a lot of people that are just like, how can you know what they're going to do? How do you know what Sega is going to be doing, so on and so forth? And I'm like, they tend to stick to a trend, so you can figure things out fairly easily. So September Episode 5 is drawing nigh. An operative should be prepared for its arrival on September 30th, finding yourselves on a fog-enshrouded, flower-dotted plain. A strong sense of displacement and confusion fills you. You had been mid-battle with the profound darkness yet again in an attempt to sever its corruptive hold on Persona. If you have not done the Episode 3 story, do it. Go back and do it if you have the time. These 2 weeks, go and do them. It's actually really, really cool into who Persona actually is and why this is important and why it's really cool that you're the one trying to help. Suddenly you feel the vibrations of riders approaching and spot a girl astride a scaled mount, fleeing the other riders atop similar beasts. A confrontation seems imminent. You briefly have time to reflect on what this new mystery will bring on its way of a few blah blah. It's basically story stuff. Basically, it's just giving you the intro to the story, what you're going to see at the very, very beginning, at the very first on the episode itself. So Episode 5 is, how can I put this? I don't want to say it's bad per se. A lot of people had some negative things to us about Episode 4, but to be fair, compared to Episode 3, Episode 4 does start out pretty meh, but it wasn't all bad. So it's just every story compared to Episode 3 is not really great. So like it's difficult. The only story that gets close is Episode 6. So this one is kind of like a side thing that's important for the entire story as well as Episode 6, but we're isekai. We're going to other worlds, man. That's how this is going to work. So what's new? Some new changes will include player level cap increased to 90. We're skipping 85. So just so you guys are aware, 85 is where a lot of classes, actually, I think every class got a new skill. So where this jump from 70 to 80 didn't really change much because all the skill trees stayed pretty much exactly the same. Only thing you did was take the extra 5 points and put them in high level bonus. Level 90 will make some changes possibly to your skill tree, so keep that in mind. New ARCs missions, new seasonal events, new alliance quarters, exciting new titles to earn, new collection folders, new quest types. So probably talking about Buster Quest, but hopefully they're talking about the limited quest, or the 4th featured quest, the 4th recommended quest, I guess they're called on NA. Hopefully that's what they're referring to specifically, but we'll have to see. New areas to explore, new S-grade augments. So for those of you guys who've been paying attention to the channel, I think I spoke about these when I was going through weapons specifically. The Mars weapons actually had S-grade augments on them, but it's the only weapon that supported it. I believe there's one other weapon type. I can see them in my head. I know they're red. They're red and they're black, and they shoot waves whenever you kick them. It's not the form weapons. It starts with a Z, like a Zades weapon or something like that. Whatever it's called. But those are the only 2 weapons that had S-grade abilities on them. There might have been some others, but those are the only 2 I remember off the top of my head. This is actually going to be something that's more common moving forward, is S-grade augments on weapons. The ability to transfer S-grade augments, which is what makes S-grade augments so awesome. You can literally swap them between weapons if you want to. And the ability to add a left ring to skill units or 12-star skill units. Okay. So this was kind of one of those things that on my stream specifically, we were like, dude, did this happen in episode 5 or this happened in episode 4? Like, we legitimately could not remember. Well, it looks like it was an episode 5 thing. Either that or they just decided to put it in episode 5. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember it specifically off the top of my head. Everything's kind of a fog from back then, man. So it was like 1 minute we're fighting Mother, 1 minute we're fighting Deus, and the next minute I'm fighting Dragon. So who knows? A few new features and changes deserve to have a little bit more said about them, so let's get started. So the new story after lending aid to those on Earth. So after we went to Earth, which technically also kind of was an isekai in a sense, but we also traveled to that area itself, so that was kind of weird. Arcs discovered a mysteriously created portal that leads to another dimension called Omega. This world seems driven purely by fantasy, a world of swords and magic instead of technology and science. The two worlds are in direct contrast to each other. As the story progresses, the player will frequently move between them while observing strange similarities in these worlds. Strange similarities these worlds share. Simultaneously, a mysterious woman who calls herself Alma appears, and she seems to have information about Omega and strangely about Arcs. So Alma is actually a character that was added in episode 5. Originally on JP, we did not have the story in the way that we have it now. It was actually something that was added later called the Omnibus, which is basically the story that you guys know now on Global. Previously on JP, there was something called the Matter Board, which the Matter Board did provide extra context to the story itself. Things like would be told to you basically like why you were in the Arcs tournament, so on and so forth, why you're going to certain locations, why you're redoing certain missions, and so on and so forth. Like the little things that you really didn't notice by reading the small little blurbs they give you before going on each mission in story mode. These things were given to you by the Matter Board. And Alma was the other person who explained a lot of these things itself. For us after the Matter Board disappeared. So after the Matter Board goes away and we have the Omnibus, as it's called on JP, the storyline is completely set to the Omnibus. Matter Board is gone, and Alma fills in the cracks that the Matter Board had previously. On JP we have, or on Global we haven't had Alma, so hopefully this is actually going to have Alma kind of fill that in a little bit more. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but she's here now. And you'll learn more about her too later. I'm not going to spoil what she is or why she's here and all that stuff. So, Scion class, hero. First one. We got our first new class, guys. A new type of class has come in the Fleet Oracle, the hero class. Heroes are trained to use several weapons, including swords, twin machine guns, and taluses. But this class wouldn't be the powerhouse it is if the hero wielded these weapons in the style of other classes. No, their methods are quite unique amongst the classes, in that twin machine guns are suitable for ranged combat and can grant PP recovery mid-fight. Taluses grant the hero the ability to move predetermined locations at high speeds, and swords decimate packs of enemies with wide range attacks. Perhaps the most interestingly, heroes possess a specific Photon Arts that allow them to quickly change between all 3 weapon types while in combat, making the hero a self-reliant whirlwind of destruction that can adapt to changing situations on the battlefield with ease. Ooh, that's a lot to talk about. So, Hero's coming out over on Global. Now, I'm going to go ahead and address this relatively quickly because everyone has this mindset when it came to Hero in episode 5. I actually was someone that was similar to this at the time frame, but it's kind of a naive mindset to have in a sense. Everyone was just like, they want Hero and they want everyone to play Hero. They just want everyone to feel bad about playing every other class in the game. You want to just be a hero. No, as someone who enjoyed and loved PSO2, one thing that you'll find is a lot of classes have, what is it called? How do I want to say this? It's very obvious that there were classes designed when they came out. So they have rust of that time that newer classes do not. So newerly designed classes, things of that sort, really don't have the same sort of, I want to say problems, but the same sort of design choices that Hero has now. Hero was a newer class, and it showed very heavily when Hero originally released over on JP, to the point some players legitimately were upset. There's some people to this day that think Hero's release was the worst thing that could ever happen for the game because it made them feel bad about playing their class, and that feels terrible. That's all there really is to it. It made everyone just feel bad about playing anything but a hero, unless you were a techer or you were a ranger or you were the magical tech ranger. That was really it. It was literally just that plus hero. No one was looking for anything else in any MPAs whatsoever. So it felt pretty bad. But then every class in the game got rebalanced. Skill trees got rebalanced. Classes got buffs all over the place. to compensate for what Hero had. I mean, Hero did have damage, don't get me wrong, Hero did definitely have damage, but in a lot of situations, to be perfectly honest, Hero just felt better. It felt more fun to play, things felt snappy, there was not crazy amounts of end lag on everything you were doing. So yes, damage was a big part of that, but for myself personally, I played Hero because it legitimately just felt like a more fun class to play at the time. You were able to move through things quicker, you felt like you were rewarded for playing properly. There was all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Even if other classes did as much damage, I'd still played Hero at the time. That's just how that worked. So all of those things being said, Hero will not have the same impact it did on that it originally had on JP on global. What will happen is everyone will go Hero when it comes out, because everyone plays the new class when it releases. That is just something that happens. You're going to see the entire game switch over to Hero. Even I'm going to level Hero to cap. I'm going to play it a bit. That's absolutely going to happen. But this is just something that everyone does. So just be ready for it. It's going to happen. So it goes over the Photon Arts. I'm really not going to talk about exactly how the Photon Arts work. This is just a couple of them. Notable Trick Flash. I believe this is going from Sword to Talus. Jet Wheel goes from Talus to, what is it? Talus from, oh no, this is just Jet Wheel that throws out shurikens. Okay, that's kind of cool. So yeah, it's just going over a couple of the PAs for Hero. You guys can read through these on your own time if you'd like. Other fun mechanic is Dark Blast. So Dark Blast gets added into the game. I'm not going to tell you why Dark Blast is here, but if you notice, it looks fairly reminiscent of something else. Feel free to read through these on your own as well, guys, but Dark Blast is being added into the game, and it's story related, so it's pretty cool. You got additional Dark Blast skills, and you'll be using these, and it's kind of cool because you actually have the option to turn these into a phantom version of them. Basically, it's like a it looks like kind of a ghost floating around you, and it's like see-through, so you can still see your character, and it basically looks like a stand from JoJo. I love it. So it also gives us the actual world of Omega. Oh, okay, so this is kind of cool. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, the magic of editing. I can cut, no one will know. And through the power of editing, what was just a moment for you was like an hour for me. Though to be fair, I did take a slight break and played a little bit of Idola. Anyway, let's jump back in. So we got up to World Divided Omega. So there's going to talk about the different areas in Omega. I'm not going to really jump into these too much. I'm just going to kind of let them speak for themselves. Again, this is something you guys can read through on your own about the different areas of Omega. So they're pretty cool. And of course, you get a little snippet of the new enemies. New enemies, the Supernaturals is what they're calling them. Interesting. They're Skelly Boys. These are Skelly Boys, and that's what we're going to call them. And the new quest type that we're getting, Buster quests. So perhaps the most formidable of all the Supernaturals, the Castrum Demonica. Or basically, we're fighting Alexander from Final Fantasy XIV. This is just the Final Fantasy XIV actual expansion itself. That's the episode we're in. We're in 14 now. And we're fighting Alexander. So there you go. So giant quest, they're giant castles basically. The Castrum Demonica is a fortification capable of summoning an endless wave of creatures and demonic arms, such as conjured artillery. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Demonic artillery. Though the Castrum Demonica are greatly feared, it has been shown that Guardians are able to control a siege weapon called a Buster Tower. This will potentially change the fate of Omega and those who seek to do good by restoring the lands to a peace known before the appearance of whatever the heck can now take a stand against those who seek domination. So the way they work it out is that we basically are able to fight these giant castle things because we're able to control Buster Towers. But basically this quest type is essentially another take on a tower defense. Where it is 3 towers that we're defending on our side. I think it's 4. Yeah, 3 or 4. I think it's 3 towers we're defending on our side. Versus horde of enemies that come at us, and eventually we're able to run up and destroy the tower on the other end. So it's a different take on the quest. It's not terrible. It's not my favorite quest type, but it's actually, it's all right. It's decently fun. It is 8-man instead of 12-man. So that's something that's very different than most people are used to. On an 8 operative team, you will alternate between defense phase and the Buster phase. Defense phase will require defending your siege bases known as the Buster Towers from enemies. Buster phases entail attacking from the front line. Buster pile weaponry needed to assault the walls, blah, blah, blah. So it's basically all the attacks come from front. So it's not too difficult to know where enemies are coming from. You just have to take them down. But these enemies can do a lot of damage. Some of them explode. Specifically, these guys with the barrels. They actually, when they first came around, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people thought of the HP meta, because a lot of these guys hit really, really, really hard. Like those barrels, when they run into you and explode, will usually one-shot you. So it's kind of crazy. Mana collection. That's pretty standard for these sort of things. As your grade increases, higher grade means better rewards. In general, you'll be able to match with operatives who have similar grade or have a similar grade. We'll go into that more when it comes out. So new series weapons they're showing off are the Evalda Handler and the I'm not even trying to pronounce these, honestly. It's gonna throw me off. These weapons pretty solid. They upgrade. We're gonna talk about them more when they actually come out. We can take a look at them, see how strong they actually are going to be, if they're gonna be useful for us for a little while, so on and so forth. But anyway. Also, the Demonia Saber is it's a hero, not a hero exclusive weapon, but it is a hero. It's a weapon that's specifically made in the mind for a hero. So that's kind of cool. Then of course these Chevelle and the Silas weapons as well. Looks like these are going to be available. Let's see, Buster Metal Shop. So it looks like there's going to be a Buster Metal Exchange Shop, which will be cool. The weapons will show different upgrade stages of the 13-star sword, which can be obtained via Buster quests in the collection and submission of the boosters. Alongside to Zig and Shop Plaza. Okay, so they're actually adding in this series weapon itself, so that'll be kind of cool. It has access to these weapons, so depending on how strong these are, I'll have to look into them again. We'll do a separate video talking about these weapons, but depending on how strong these weapons are going to be on the global servers, then it depends whether or not these will be useful. It may be something that's kind of easy for people to jump into and get a hold of, instead of having to save a bunch of money to try to buy a Nemesis weapon that people aren't farming anymore. And hello, Rising Weapon Badge 4 is the next Rising Weapon Badge, and the wares that can be purchased with them are here. Judas weapons. Okay, so this is actually what someone on my stream was telling me about, that the Judas weapons are going to be available for Rising Weapon Badge 4s. Judas weapons are going to be, well, the upgrade for Judas weapons are going to be 1/2 of what's needed to create a 15-star weapon, so these will actually be pretty nice to have. So I don't remember them being fairly strong on their own. So it'll be something we'll probably just get a hold of and set aside for an upgrade later. So kind of cool. That's really about it. Kind of covers everything we'll be getting in episode 5 so far. Not too bad. It looks all right. I mean, like I said, there's some more things I'm going to want. There's another emergency quest that we're going to be getting, or urgent quest we'll be getting later on. That'll be pretty fun. But road to episode 5. Hang on a second. There's an event page. There's boosts. There's a okay, so there's a campaign login rewards, boosts, urgent quests, limited time quests, enhancement boosts and bonuses. This is all the same thing. No, these are all different. Okay, so let's take a look at these real quick. Hopefully this video doesn't go on too long. So let's see. Tired of games, chances. Blah, blah, blah. During these campaign periods, meet the requirements to receive augment transfer passes and up to 300 free SG. See this article for more details. Okay, this is very important. This is good. See operatives, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're to episode 5. We'll be handing out 3.5 million experience and up to 210 SG. If operatives report for duty enough, they receive augment transfer passes and 90 SG. Okay, going further about the stuff. The merits of augment transfer passes can be taught about here. We can talk about augment transfer passes in another video, but the long story short is you want to stack them up. They're actually extremely useful going towards the end game, even currently on JP right now. So get them, stack them up. They're really good. What's the first period of login bonuses? Because we're having another period of login bonuses September 23rd to 29th. During this period, those who log in each day will receive a Tokyo bonus key gold, grinders, and lambda grinders. Bonus key gold are going to be very useful. Log in often enough and receive another augment transfer pass. It's just one transfer pass. For those new to the process of enhancement, we've posted a notice here that okay, so yeah, it's just one transfer pass. I mean, sure, it's one more pass. You don't have to like buy, but like it's only one pass, right? So not a huge deal. So augment transfer passes 2. You get 2 passes. This seems really dumb. I'm not gonna lie. I was excited about hearing you get transfer passes, but like we're only getting 1, which doesn't really get much done. Like to transfer a 4-slot augment from one unit to the next, you need at least 5. So going upwards of needing 100 for an 8-slot unit. So like it's kind of crazy, but either way, you know, not the end of the world. You can get 40 a month. So, well, 30 a month right now, 40 a month starting next month. So there's something that you'll stack up. So cool. We get some SG. We get, yeah, it looks like 30 SG a day. Plus, I mean, literally, again, more free SG. We've been talking about this on stream a lot. I know a lot of people have been complaining about this, the SG scratch, which, don't get me wrong, SG scratch sucks. People are like, we don't have enough SG, we can't get enough SG. They've literally been giving us free SG over and over and over and over again. It's insane. Another exciting facet of our road to episode 5 includes special boosts for Urgent Quest Deus Esca, maker of new epochs, Deus Esca, singer of Genesis. Short synopsis of these urgent quests can be found below. It talks about the urgent quests themselves. So rare drop rate by 100%, XP earned by 100% from the 16th to the 23rd. These more powerful weapons and units will see us better prepared for challenging. Okay, I mean, it's talking about the units that you get from these. Based on rare and unappraised items, see these pages respectively. Okay. That's not all. Completing any urgent quests between the 16th and the 29th will come with some amazing rewards, such as 30 SG tickets. Or 30 SG tickets, not as in 30 of them total, but like getting 30 SG from each ticket. An AC scratch ticket, depending on how many you complete during this period. Free SG, yes please. Literally more free SG. Like, just you get more of them. Don't get me wrong, it still sucks. Star Gem scratch still sucks, but you literally are throwing SG directly into our face for just playing the game. At least 5 urgent quests to get 1, 10 urgent quests to get 50, and 15 to get a free scratch ticket. So that's kind of cool. And then boosted epoch stuff. Okay, dope. Not too bad. So these are just Genesis weapons. We have a video that's going to be going up on the channel about these weapons fairly soon. And then from the rematch, boosted Clifford weapons. I like the Clifford weapon better. I like the name that it had on JP better, but Clifford, sure. Clifford the big red dog. Dope. Also, this kind of looks like Esca. I never noticed that. This kind of looks like one of his enemies, or one of the enemies, like kind of standing there. That's kind of odd. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. So they're boosting basically Deus Esca and Mother. I think they said Mother, right? Maker of new epoch, Deus Esca. No, just Deus Esca. Okay, it's just Esca stuff. Okay, Mother's not getting boosted. Limited time quest boosts and bonuses. So they actually added an LQ, which is kind of cool. The details of this VR engagement have been tuned. Okay. September 23rd to September 29th, the rare item drop rate will be 100%. 100%. What is this one? This will be a little. Okay, so doing this, it is to be done in under 20 minutes. Whatever spoils you may find are to be used in preparation for future engagements. Limited time quests. Okay, so I'm not sure if it's 20 minutes. I actually haven't done this yet because I've been on JP playing Luster the entire time. So I just did my dailies on NA, or my weeklies on NA is all I've been doing so far. So doing this, let's see, 5 times is 30 SG ticket, 10 times is a 50 SG ticket, and 15 times is a glamour pose, which will unlock on your entire account. So that's kind of cool. It looks like Fornis weapons are here. We're going to talk about those on a video relatively soon as well, but nice, not bad, not bad. They do have their uses, so pretty cool those are available there. Let's see what's left. And road to episode 5 enhancement bonuses or boost and bonuses. You just got a weapon upgrade. It's time to enhance. Good news is it'll be easier, more rewarding on the 23rd. Let's see. Is there a times, a rarity stars, and blah blah blah. Let's see. Anything useful specifically to know? I love how they're showing psyche units on this page when you don't really want those, by the way. But teachers their own. Anyway, enhance a weapon at least 1 time, half dolls, 5 times, Rappy necklace, unit once, RDR plus 250, 5 of them. I'm glad this isn't like a 150 because there's no reason for 150s to exist. They're giving people the Dreamcast mask again. I think this has been given out already, or maybe it was the Genesis mask before. I don't remember exactly. Try boost 100%, very nice. And affix and augment at least 5 times. Do 5 affixes? Sure, we'll figure that out. Should be something cheap we can do to get a blue Puyo. Nice. Success, thank goodness. Enhancement boost. Item enhancement plus 10% affix and augmentation aid plus 10%. Hello. Boost week. Did someone say boost week? And we were just talking about this not too long ago as well. People are like, we need another boost week. I'm like, we'll get one. We'll definitely get one. Boost week. Enhancement experience plus 15% during weapon enhancements. That's cool. And great enhancement aid plus 25% during weapon enhancements. Also nice. because the 50% are fairly easy to get, so you can get up to 75% really, really easily, not to spend the 100%. Though enhancing weapons is not very difficult on NA right now. Super, super cheap, so nice. But I think about covers everything related with the episode 5 stuff that we'll be getting, the campaigns, what they've announced, what's going to be popping up from the very get-go. So it's actually pretty exciting to take a look at. Anyway, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to toss them in the comments below. If you're just excited for episode 5, I know people have been waiting to play Hero. There's some people who mained Hero over on JP that have been like just fiending because there's nothing that really compares to Hero's playstyle right now in the game. So a lot of people are going to be playing Hero, and don't get discouraged if you see heroes all over the place and you see how easy it is to play them. On a very basic level, the class is fairly simple. It's just at the high tiers of optimal gameplay, things get pretty crazy. But at a very, very basic level, it is literally don't get hit the enemy really hard. Like, that's pretty much the long and short of Hero. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to toss them in the comments below. A like is always appreciated on the video, and this is all you have half of your ad block. The other half is absolved by subscribing, and both are free. Clicking the bell icon does notify you of whenever I comment in the communities page, as well as any videos that get uploaded. Excuse me. And if you're not a fan of that, you're more than welcome to either follow me over on Twitter or join the Discord to get notifications of the streams, or just generally interact with me. Anyway, guys, thanks, care. Awesome. Thanks for joining me on this one. Take care. Peace out.